Louis, do you have any thing with the Kliq? With the original Kliq in WWF, or is it just the pitch?
Actually, you should all know that really is Bret Hart's deal, and he was a lone wolf before any wolf pack ever existed. And they stole it from him, and everybody that knows Bret knows that they stole it from him. So when I came to ECW, I kind of stole it back for him. And everybody always thought that when I did that, I did it for the Kliq, but I never said that. Everybody else said it for me. So, but that's the true story behind that. That's a broken record.
Hey Shane, who do you hate more, Flair, Michael Cole, or...
I've gotten over the point of hating them. I'm beyond that now. It was never really a hate. It was more of a, to me, being a man is if I say, hey, I think you suck dick, there's no reason for me to say that behind closed doors. And when you ask me or confront me about it, I say, no, I didn't say that. No, what are you talking about? And I've said a lot of things on the record here in these internet conventions and on the microphone and shoot interviews and in the sheets and whatever else. And I've never hid from any of that. I mean, whenever I met any of those guys or heard that somebody was talking to them, I said, make sure you tell them I said hello. It wasn't not the kind of thing that if any of them would walk in here right now, they're like, oh, hey guys, how you doing? It was just all good work, On the other hand, those guys all sit there like Scott Hall will sit there and tell you, like the night in Switzerland, I hear him bitching to the referee because I changed the matchup on him. He didn't know how to work along with the match. And I walked into the room and this is, what the hell, some of the bitches that did the same match for 2 weeks in a row and all this kind of shit. And I was bored out of my skull. Changed the matchup on him. He bitched to the referee when I walked into the room. Like, hey, I said, there's a problem with the match, Scott? Is there something you couldn't follow along with? No, everything was okay. Well, now, wait a second. If I was an asshole before I walked in the room, I must still be an asshole now. Either that or you're an asshole for not being man enough to stand up for your convictions. And I think that none of those guys have it. None. They're all creatures of the business. Scott Hall once said to me, you can make friends in this business, you can make money. Now here's a guy who, whenever he first came to WCW, Johnny Yates and I were partners, had no money. We let him stay in our room. We fed him. We paid all his bills for him. So I guess he was right. He didn't make friends. He made money in the business. But here's a guy who's got to pop a handful of pills every damn night, or take whatever drug he can get his hands on because he's so miserable with his life. Shawn Michaels has had his stomach pumped how many times because he's obviously running from something. That millions of dollars he's got in the bank isn't making him very happy. I'm content with my payoff here at ECW. I sleep very well at night, and that's about the end of that.
Rob, what's it like?
What's it like being me?
No. What was the experience like being on Monday Night Raw? What was the experience?
It was just like working everywhere. I was just there to prove a point, and I was very well accepted by the audience, which of course I wasn't surprised. I got over like I always do everywhere, and I'll be there again.
How soon can you see Rob Van Dam back on Monday Night Raw?
I can't tell you how soon, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to go everywhere. That's it. I've already gone past my goals in this career, so right now, all I'm going to do is spread my talent around. Well, I might wear them. Well, I'm just saying that's not what I'm after. Wait, let me ask Louis, do you got any other questions first?
Yeah, Rob. When did you first decide you wanted to be a pro wrestler?
I was about the age of 14.
Stuck with it.
Sure. I was kickboxing at the time. Thought I might turn professional with kickboxing, but I decided, with wrestling, there was so much more room to be creative. I enjoyed acrobatics and shit like that.
You got any idols or manufacturers?
I really enjoyed the, what's your name? Rad Radford.
I like Robbie Dean.
In the back.
Saying, ECW had a working arrangement for a while. What did you think of it at that time?
I was very outspoken in the, hey, Sabu.
Where's that for?
Not again.
I was very outspoken and was telling Paul all the time that I was in total disagreement with it. The night that Jerry Lawler came into the building the first time, I told him, if you go to the ring and make any reference directly or indirectly to me, whether it be Shane Douglas, Dean Douglas, Troy Martin, wrestlers who couldn't cut it in the WWF, anything, I said, you won't get the last sentence out before I hit the ring. And I told Paul that. I said, you have to fire me afterwards, whatever. I never believed in the working relationship. I thought it was bullshit. I thought they were trying to use us to try to establish themselves with the hardcore fans and the people that they had no rapport with. And, I just never believed in it. And a lot of it's personal reasons. I'm certainly smart enough to understand the business side of it. It certainly helped our first pay-per-view to have, the name out there and talking to a lot of fans who would never otherwise have heard or seen ECW. So it helped us. And in that situation, I guess it was a win-win case. But, when you start to hear the stories that came back afterwards, like about, some of the things with the business dealings with the guy, it was clear from the very start, rather than him seeing the value of a working relationship, it was going to become very dictatorial. And at that point, Paul was, thank God, smart enough and man enough to tell him, shove off. And I would have loved to have been, in the meeting there with it. Not because I want to see Vince McMahon ever again in my life, but because I'd like to see the fake look on his face because Vince McMahon thinks his shit doesn't stink. And for so long, he's been used to having people kiss his ass in his business because he was the man for so long. And now suddenly there's an organization that he has no control over, is in desperate need of having an association with because his sad run in the ratings against Nitro. And he can't come in and dictate it. He can't come in and say, Paul, you're going to do this, and it's going to be done this way or whatever. And that's the way Vince likes to get stuff done. When you work up there, that's the way it is. And you see it on the faces of the people in the dressing room whenever, the funny thing was, the first question I had from the guys when I saw the week after, how's the dressing room? They said, whew, man. And, and I guess, story, you can tell people stories about it, but until you sit there and you witness it, you see the misery on these people's faces, and you think, wow, I wonder if you're really happy to be a superstar in the World Wrestling Federation. And I think their faces tell it all.
Shawn Michaels not even happy to be a superstar in the World Wrestling.
Because he lost his smile.